Hello and welcome back to All About Community. When we went to break, I actually said I was preaching. I wasn't preaching. The bishop was preaching. He just got me excited. Bishop, before we conclude, I'd like to ask you a few questions about the Coliseum development, the proposals for that. I believe there are two groups vying for that right here in East Oakland, District 6, District 7. You have any ideas or thoughts on the Coliseum development?
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I would love to see those two groups that now have joined together, and the one group that's still out there, kind of like in competition with those two groups.
When you said two groups have joined together,
yes,
you mean Dave Stewart and Elaine Brown?
Dave Stewart and Elaine Brown's group. They've joined together. Ray Bobbitt and his group is still out. What I'm hoping and praying is that all three of them will come together and buy the whole complex. In other words, buy all of the property at the Coliseum. And then together, all three of them would develop the community. And then I know it's going to be done right. And then it'll be owned by the black community, which means that we would have the say-so as to what goes on.
So we would, in essence, have a Black Wall Street. Is that what you're saying?
That is exactly right. And anybody that want to go and check on Black Wall Street in Oklahoma and what they had, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful black section that was just wonderful.
They had black hotels, they had black barbershop, restaurants, you name it. And then something happened, right?
Yeah, the white folks burned them down. I burned the whole thing down because they didn't want to see black people prosper. They didn't want to see black people becoming independent.
Now, what can you do, Bishop? As you said, I'm quoting you now, you the Bishop of Oakland. Right. Now, what can you do to bring those groups together so that we can get a Black Wall Street here in Oakland?
Well, I've talked to Ray Bobbitt, and I've talked to Stewart, and I haven't spoken to Elaine Brown, but I've talked to Dave Stewart, I've talked to Ray Bobbitt, and I think we may be seeing something, and I've been praying about that because I just know that would be the answer, you know, and it's only half of the property that they're entertaining right now, and the other half belong to the city. Half belong to the county, half belong to the city. My thing is get a hold of both halves so we have the whole thing. Then we can begin to develop.
Now, the A's, I believe, have contracted to take over the county's part of the Coliseum.
But what is the A's?
So the only thing left would be the city's part, is that right?
But the A's don't want it because the A's really want to move down to Howard Terminal, down on the West Oakland side, and the mayor is she's pom-pom girl for that to happen. So the point of it is, that's going to still leave the A's with half of the Coliseum to do what? So black people can own it. We have black people that are ready, got the money, everything to do it, and plus they have the renditions as to what it would look like when they finish building it out. It's beautiful. I'm telling you, I want to see that.
It is really beautiful. If you haven't seen the plans, please take the time to do so. I know a lot of them have been published on the internet, etc. But developing the Coliseum area is very, very important. Unfortunately, we are out of time. Our next segment is going to deal with the Oakland African American Chamber of Commerce, founded by Bishop Bob Jackson. So don't go away. Don't touch that remote. We will be back, but before we do, let me again say, Bishop Jackson, how much we've enjoyed having you, and we want you to come back on a monthly basis, if necessary, so that you can preach and inspire us.
Thank you, sir. I'd love to
do the right thing.
I love to. I always enjoy coming to your program.
And thank you again. Don't touch that remote. We will be right back with All About Community with segment 2. My name is Robert L. Harris, and I am your host. And thank you, Bishop Jackson, for being with us. Full Gospel Church.
Thank you for having me.